Washington, a federal watchdog investigating whether the Internal Revenue Service unfairly targeted conservative political groups seeking tax-exempt status, said that the agency also scrutinized organizations associated with liberal causes from 2004 to 2013. The findings by the Treasury Department's Inspector General mark the end of a political firestorm that embroiled the IRS in controversy, led to the ouster of its commissioner, and prompted accusations the tax collection agency was being used as a political weapon by the Obama administration. The exhaustive report, which examined 9 years' worth of applications for tax-exempt status, comes after a similar audit in 2013 found that groups with conservative names like Tea Party, Patriot, or 912 were unfairly targeted for further review. The new report found that the IRS was also inappropriately targeting progressive-leaning groups. While the investigation does not specify the political affiliations of the groups, names that were flagged included the words Progressive, Occupy, Green Energy, and ACORN, the acronym for the now-defunct Association of Community Organizations for Reform Now. A spokeswoman for the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration noted that the report makes no characterization of the political leanings of any of the groups. The IRS came under fire for its aggressive questioning of conservative groups in 2013. After a surge in applications for tax-exempt status between 2010 and 2012, the agency acknowledged that it began singling out terms such as Tea Party and Patriot as a shortcut for determining if organizations were actually engaging in social welfare, which would qualify them for tax-exempt status, or if they might be political organizations. To receive non-profit status, a group must be primarily engaged in the promotion of social welfare, according to i.r.s. rules. Such organizations can engage in some political activity so long as, in the aggregate, these non-exempt activities are not its primary activities. Organizations that were flagged by the IRS as potentially political had to undergo intensive requests for information about any legislative activities. In 2013, Lois Lerner, the director of the IRS division that oversees tax-exempt groups, apologized for making mistakes and exercising poor judgment. That same year, President Barack Obama demanded the resignation of the acting IRS commissioner, Stephen T. Miller, because of the firestorm, and called the agency's actions inexcusable. Ahead of the 2014 midterm elections, Republicans regularly used the scandal to bludgeon Democrats and paint the Obama administration as corrupt. But now it appears that the IRS was an equal offender. This report shows the IRS' deep scrutiny of political groups is in fact bipartisan. It is liberal and conservative groups that the IRS has been targeting, said Craig Hellman, a government affairs lobbyist for the consumer advocacy group Public Citizen. Rather than condemn the IRS actions, Democrats on Thursday celebrated the findings as evidence that Republicans were wrong to claim bias at the IRS. Democrats had previously been critical of the 2013 Treasury report since it only looked at 2 years of applications. After years of baseless claims and false accusations, it is my hope Republicans will finally put an end to this witch hunt and admit that their attacks on the IRS were nothing but political grandstanding on behalf of special interests at the expense of American taxpayers, said Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, the ranking Democrat on the Senate Finance Committee. Republicans, however, are not prepared to let the IRS off the hook and seized on the report as evidence that the agency must be reformed. This report reinforces what government watchdogs and congressional investigators have confirmed time and time again. Bureaucrats at the IRS, such as Lois Lerner, arbitrarily and haphazardly administered the tax code and targeted taxpayers based on political ideology, said Representative Kevin Brady of Texas, the Republican chairman of the Ways and Means Committee. It's no wonder the American people have lost faith in the IRS. The controversy over political targeting at the IRS was the genesis of many congressional hearings and probes, and it has continued to haunt its current commissioner, John Koskinen, whom Mr. Obama tapped to stabilize the agency. As recently as April, House members called for the firing of Mr. Koskinen for the gross mishandling of its investigation into the targeting of political groups. Despite the uproar from Republicans, President Trump has not taken any steps to fire Mr. Koskinen, whose term ends next month.